Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Right, so there was a lot of market moves and the number of trades that we were able to catch. We'll do a bit of a market recap. All right, so the theme for this week is why I stopped trading support and resistance. I'm not going to go into detail with that. So for the next coming about 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to be detailing a few webinars. I'm going to do them during the week where I talk about some of the strategies that I used before using the Elliott Wave theory, and then we'll be talking about the relationship between those strategies and why I stopped using them, or the relationship between those with the Elliott Wave theory. All right, so before we start today, no, the video may be a bit long for some of you. You don't really want to go through all the listed instruments here, so you can go through to the listed timestamps. Right, so before you move on to your favorite pairs, so there are just 5 things I want to mention. The first one is that our next course is going to be starting on the 8th of June. So from the 8th to the 18th of June, it is a 10-day course. So if you're interested in attending the course live, you can go onto the website. You'll find the link to the website on the description of the video. It's not here, so the link, the website is elliottwaveprinciple.com, right? So elliottwave-principle.com. So you'll find more information about the courses and how to book for your course there. The course is fully recorded and available on the website. So when we do the live course, you would have already watched the recording, so you can get you can be able to ask questions there. Right, the second thing is that there's also a 10% special on the full course. Check it out later on in the day. Today is Sunday the 17th, so check it out later. It will be loaded on the website, so 10% on the full course. So it's valid until the next course, that is on the 8th of June. For South Africans, we understand that this US dollar ZAR rate is extremely high. So if you're in South Africa and you're interested in the course, please send an email first as per the contact details that you will find under the description of the video. All right, so another interesting thing is that if you're interested in one of our plans, only the subscription plan, that is a 3-month and a 4-month plan, we're going to throw in the stock and the RSI indicator seminar that is going to be included with that subscription there, right? And you can also, if you've taken a subscription plan, there's plan 1 or plan 2 that you will see on the website. If you go to subscriptions there, I'm not going to go into details on that. You can check it out on the website. So if you take any of the subscription plans, plan 1 or 2, you'll get the stock and the RSI indicator seminar with that. So that is the full cost. That is going to be a 10% off. So that means the cost is going to be 540 until the next course. That's what I wanted to lay out for the next couple of days. So it's 3 weeks away. I think that's going to be the last. That's probably going to be the last course while we're still in lockdown in South Africa. Right. So what's interesting today is is the trade setups and how we looked at the markets in the last couple of sessions. So let's have a look at the trade recap. Talking about the strategies and why I stopped trading support and resistance, I want to show you an interesting chart first. So let's go to our Slack group. So if you're part of the group, you also get access to our Slack groups. This is where we post our trade setups. So this way I want to start. Let's just have a look here. Just go scroll up here and look at the setups that we had. Now, if you look at this pair here, this is a AUD New Zealand pair. This is the latest chart, naked chart. Let me get my annotation tool here. See how interesting this is. Now, this is the naked chart on AUD New Zealand. Let me look at it on the naked chart, on the live chart, so you can see here. So what I'm trying to show you, AUD New Zealand, weekly, or rather daily naked chart without anything on it. So this is the daily chart on AUD New Zealand. Let's make it weekly rather. So what you see on this chart, we're doing trade recaps now. What you see on this chart is this move, is this mess that has been in place since 2016. Now, would you have made money in the last 4 years trading AUD New Zealand while it was doing this? Okay, so that's the question that I want to ask you, and I want to try and illustrate something about the accuracy of the wave theory, whether it's accurate or not. So now this is a mess. Now somebody who's attempting to label Elliott wave theory may come to this here and find it very messy. Now I want to look at this piece now. Let's go look at this piece. Now if you look at that piece on the daily, let's look at that piece on the daily. If you look at that piece on the daily, anyone who's attempted to learn the Elliott wave theory will see that this is a 1, 2. Let me label it here. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going for a 5. Like anybody who has seen this, we know that the Elliott wave strategy starts with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, and we expect then a correction to come on. Now anybody can come here and label this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, why is it so easy for anyone who has attempted to learn the Elliott wave theory to be able to identify it, but yet not everybody is making money using the same strategy? Look at this. You can even go to the lower degree. 1, 2, 3 waves, 3, 4, 5 waves. So it's 1, 2, 3 fractal internal degree here. Now, what is so difficult about this? Okay, anyone can come and identify this and label the chart, but why is it so difficult for people to make money out of the strategy? That is because it is easy to see and label after the move has played out. After the move has played out, would you have seen this while you were still here? Would you have been able to locate all these 5? This is almost 10 waves, by the way, because you've got 5 internally, you've got 5 externally. The reason why most people will not get this is it is easy to label it after it has played out, and that is not what we're trying to do here. The important thing in trading is to be able to predict the right hand side of the chart. Now, if you can't predict the right hand side of the chart and you are able to label the left hand side of the chart, it does not make any difference. You're still not going to make money trading. Okay, so how did we look at this pair in the last 4 years that it has been playing out? Now again, I'm just going to go quickly to the weekly chart so you can see where that came from. So that is that mess that I showed you. Now let's go to that daily chart so you can see the 4-hour chart, so you can see that move that anybody can label. So that is what that looks like. Now we have labeled this chart. It's easy. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the red degree, and the lower degree is green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anybody can do it. Now we're even looking at the current move to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is what we're trading. We've been trading this since the move here, but that is not the important thing. The important thing is when you trade like this. Let's go to our Slack group and see, so you can see how we traded this. So I've just shown you this labeled chart here. That is what we had. But before, what did we have before? What we had before, even before I show you this, we saw this move going all the way down to the to parity. But let's go to the next one here. It's just going to show you. Let's go look for Audi New Zealand. Audi New Zealand. I want to look only at Audi New Zealand. All right, so I want you to look at that move. So that is what we have. And I want you to see before. Let me just pause here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. The move that you saw labeled to the upside was this one here. This is what we forecasted before the move played out. You see here, we were forecasting that we're going to have a move here. We're going to have this one here. We were going to go to wave 3, okay? But how did we know that we're going to have the lower degree here? We're going to have what we call a nest here, and then we're going to get a 5-wave move to the upside here. Now that is the next chart that you're going to see. So for the next chart actually shows you exactly what we saw. You see now, this is the left-hand side of the chart, and this is how we saw the move coming up. And now we are 800 pips from here where we started. So it is important to be able to know which structure is going to play out, whether you're going to have an impulse or 3 waves like we have forecasted here. That is how we saw Audi New Zealand, and it has now played out over 800 pips since that move, okay? 800 pips since that move right here at the bottom. That is how that one has played out to the upside. Now let's clear this and continue looking at the next one here. Now the next one, this is now more detailed here now, giving an entry, pulling back. As you can see, we're looking at 5 waves here. We eventually get the 5 waves. We're currently at 800 on Audi New Zealand. That is how that pair has now played out and eventually made a move to 800. We're still looking for 200 more because the target here is 1,000 pips. But I'm going to show you 2 years back, before that move actually played out, that we forecasted that it was going to come down here at 1 for 1, that is Audi and New Zealand, and that is going to make this move that you see. That is the move that you see. This chart is actually quite recent. This one was in April. This was when we were close to the parity here and looking for this move to continue higher. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. Now let's go to the next one here. And now this is when it is reversed here. Okay, this is the reversal that you see here on Audi New Zealand on the weekly. That's actually on the daily, looking for this move to make to push higher. But that was not the only thing that we saw. We saw that coming down still. And I'll show you the last thing on this. Last thing on this one. Before the move started to the upside, we saw that that was going to make a move to the downside first, and we had a trade to the downside going to parity. That was a 250 pip move to the downside, and this is the one that is playing out here. See here, the 250 pip move, actually the 250 pip move to go down to parity on Audi New Zealand. Right, so that's what I wanted to show you on Audi New Zealand and how that has played out. So for the rest of the trade recaps, let's go to my channel here. So this is just basically a summary of the trades that we've been looking at in the week. Now, the interesting ones that we caught was the oil and the gold moves that played out on Friday. But before that, so if you want to look at how we looked at this 2 years ago, because that was the main idea. I wanted to show you that how we looked at this 2 years ago. Now, if you go to this video, I'm going to take it on the video. If you go to the video, Elliott Wave Forex and Crypto Market Analysis webinar from 18 to 22nd June, right? 18 to 22nd June, that was 2 years ago. Go down to the timestamps, click on Audi New Zealand. You will see that while 2 years ago, we forecasted the current 1,000 pip move that is currently happening. Not just that, this is where we were 2 years back. We forecasted, this is the video that you see is as it is from 2 years ago. We forecasted that we're going to have this move here, and then it was going to come down to parity. That is the trade that we took here, and it was going to make this current 1,000 pip move that you're seeing right now. So this move that is currently playing out on Audi New Zealand is nothing new. We saw that move 2 years ago, and this is how it is playing out now. We got the move to the downside and upside. Now, for the whole of 2019, I've been looking for this to come down here to parity and bounce. And if you look at the analysis, and it's easy to track this because you can just go to that year or to that video and you go to the timestamp and see how that has played out eventually. That is what I wanted to show you. So that is Audi New Zealand. Now, the rest of the trade recaps, setups that we had in the week, this is what we traded in the week. So Thursday, we had a webinar on commodities. We looked at the commodities. Let's have a look at the commodities, or rather the trade recaps for the past week. Let's have a look at how that played out. So just look at charts from yesterday. So I said this is a summary. Right, so that was the Audi US dollar, the chart that I've shown you. Then on Thursday, this is what we saw here on silver. I hope you all caught the silver move, because we got the silver move. It was so clear, and every single member that is in our room has seen this trade a day before it actually played out. So this was posted on the 14th of May. That was last week, Thursday, and we were looking for this one to break out of this structure. Now, another webinar that I'm going to do, it will be on trading breakouts. Now, how many times have you seen breakouts that don't play out? So that's because you're trading without the indicator. You're trading without an indicator. You cannot just trade a naked chart alone, because This is generated by a computer. What we're counting here, the labels that I'm counting is what I'm seeing in with the naked eye. But your relative strength index, your stock and the RSI, your stochastics, and all those indicators, if you understand the algorithm, they can tell you without having to put down a calculator and work out, and you can see the strength of the move. So on Thursday, I actually said to my members, this is dying to push higher. Now, this was silver. And when it played out, when it started playing out, I sent an update that this is now triggered and it was ready to go. Now, if you see this, you will see that it never once after the move went back into negative. It just went straight from there and has been in the move, in the uptrend ever since. As you can see, we're already 100 points up on silver. Okay, so we were looking at both silver and gold, but silver had a much better structure than gold, and that is something that we get to see if you are trading inter markets. You can see which one has got a better chance of going than the other. Now, this was Brent crude. Brent crude also, we saw the move before it happened. This was actually Friday morning, around 10 a.m. So this one has now made a move here. It has not completed the move, but it has started the break to the upside. That is Brent crude oil starting to make a move to the upside. It's not too late. You can still jump on to this one based on your strategy when the market opens tomorrow. Right, now this is US dollar JPY, and we don't always get them all right, but this is still in play. It has made this move, has made a reversal here, but it's made another candle to the upside here. I'll be doing an update on this one. This one has not started making the move that we expected, but we'll update shortly when we start with the market analysis. So that is US dollar JPY. The next one is pound US dollar. Okay, pound US dollar. Let's just go back to it again. Pound US dollar. It's very interesting one. So another thing is, if you are trading, are you able to hold a trade through pullbacks all the way to target? Now look at this one here. This was the entry here on pound US dollar, got an entry, and again this one never went into the negative territory because the indicator that we use has shown us that this is going to make a move to the downside. Not that it does not go into negative sometimes, but this is how this one has played out. So this was the entry. It makes a move. It retraces by about 100 pips. Are you able to hold the trade while it retraces over 100 pips? And that is how this one has played out. That is over 400 pips from entry. Just 400 pips in just a week. Okay, in just a week, 400 pips on pound US dollar. And you can see here our members get an entry as well as the stop loss area. That is pound US dollar, and that is how that has played out. Now this I've put on here just so you can see where we were looking for the move to happen. So we were looking for this move to happen after the pullback. Now if you go to your charts, you will see that this did not reverse from here, but instead has made this three-wave move. 11 swing sequence has made this corrective structure. This is when we got now the trade from around here. So this is with the naked eye. The correction plays out. It makes, instead of a WXY, it makes another X and a Z, and then it started dropping. But we are able to catch the move. That is how we traded pound US dollar. Right. Now the next one is AUD US dollar. So this one has been messy. I actually sent this one, tried to take this move here from here. It drops here and then pulls back and takes us out for a loss. That happens. I mean, if you're trading and you don't lose any trade, or if you're a trader, you only share your wins, you are most likely not legit. So we didn't get this one right. Again, with the naked eye, this is what we saw, but the indicator told us we can enter here. So the indicator does not tell you how far it's going to go. That is why it is used together with the Elliott Wave theory. Right, so now we have this move here. So after the trade did not play out, you should always know, the nice thing about the wave theory is that if your move does not play out, or if it plays out, you know why. So this has actually made this move, has made a three-wave move. That is why we then label it as a B, and we attempted to take another trade here. Indeed, we are here, but that trade, we did not take that trade because as you can see, you'll see how messy it has come down here. We're not interested in trading in this messy trade. We're interested in pulsing moves. So that is this is how Audi US dollar has played out. As you can see, it has made no move to the downside, but after making this sharp reversal. So you cannot say that we've got the trade here unless you got an entry. You can see that I don't even have an entry on this. That's because we didn't take the trade, but we were looking for it to come down here. So that is how Audi Audi US dollar has played out. Another one here was New Zealand. New Zealand was much better in terms of structure. This did this and pulled back and gave us an entry for downside. As you can see, New Zealand, nice pullback there. There's a nice three-wave pullback and then started dropping as expected. This is how we focused. Right, that's New Zealand. And the next one, interesting one, is our Euro US dollar. Now, Euro US dollar, if you look at this is very interesting because here we got a move here into the blue box. We've got a move down here. We change the structure here and then it makes a move here and then makes a move to the downside here. No, this move has not really happened as yet. So what we've got is 1, 2, and we are halfway here to the last move. Now look at how that one has played out and how we forecasted it. And I've been showing you this move for the last couple of days. So this was the update after it broke down here. You can see here we got to this level. We made an update. We get this one to, we focused that it's going to make a move to the upside here. You'll see in the next one that we are now here. We are now here. We're looking to complete this move and we'll be looking for this. Now, if you count this is the only strategy where you can forecast multiple moves ahead. So here we got the break to the downside. We've got a move to the upside. Now we've got this one here. Now we'll be looking for this after that move. So that is how the Euro US dollar and how we trade. So this is the latest chart now with the latest update, and we're looking for this to continue down here. Right, so that is Euro US dollar. Next one is pound yen. Now pound yen, very interesting one. Such a big move to the downside here, almost 400 pips on this one. It has dropped here. As you can see with the next move, that has played out nicely. As you can see, it's just a few pips to the downside left here on this one. Broke down here, textbook setup to the downside. And the next one, or last one rather, is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you look at this chart, this was 26th of March, when I have been saying Bitcoin is going to reach around the 9,000 area. What has happened? We've dropped here, we've made a move here in 3 waves, and we've reached the 10,000 area, and that is how Bitcoin eventually played out. And this is the latest chart on Bitcoin. That is how we forecasted all those moves. All right, so those are the trades for the last couple of weeks, and that is how our members have benefited from that. I will be looking at the rest of the charts now. Let's go into the market analysis so we can go into the detail of the market. Okay, as usual, we're going to start with the cryptocurrencies. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Right, so now you can move on to your favorite pace. Let's start with the cryptocurrencies. Let's get to Bitcoin. There we go. So I'm mostly going to be looking at the 4-hour charts as well as the 1-hour charts. I'm not going to be going into the higher time frames. So let's have a look here. So last week's analysis, we looked at Bitcoin to have completed, as I've just shown, to have completed this 3-wave move to the upside. And that is the 3-wave move that you see there. That is W, that is X, that is Y to the upside. Okay, so we're looking for this one to start. We already had an impulse. We're starting to make this corrective structure. Thought it was going to do this, but obviously we know that that does not go in a straight line. So the market is still in corrective structure. We've made another pullback, and we're currently busy with this corrective structure. If this keeps correcting here at this level, we may see Bitcoin making another push to the upside. But what is happening? What would we be expecting after a 3-wave move? What we'll be expecting is for a big corrective structure. If this is not going to correct, if it's not going to go all the way down, we are going to expect a big corrective structure. So it's 3 up that you see in yellow and 3 back. Then we're going to look for a push to the upside. For now, this may just go sideways. We're not looking at anything at this stage. If you look at this one here, it looks like we're just going to be making a corrective structure here. So even if this makes a push up here, comes down here, you'll see that it would have made a regular flat. It would have made 1, 2, 3 if we make a structure like that. Now that regular flat, if we want a bigger structure, we may even get something like this. We may even get something like this. Let me make this full screen. I won't make it full screen, otherwise it's gonna be misaligned there. So we may even get something like this. So a bigger corrective structure eventually. So if that is the case, the regular flat that forms here, that will be a W, there will be an X, there will be a Y. That is what we will be looking for on Bitcoin. So if it makes a bigger corrective structure like that, that means we're still gonna have a continuation to the upside with that W, X, and a Y, and then a push to the upside. So it will just be a continuation of the move. We've completed this leg. Will it have another leg to the upside so we can have a structure like this? Let's just switch this off so you can see the structure. This is the red degree that you saw here initially on Bitcoin WX. Are we gonna get a new leg here? This will be the new leg. Unfortunately, I'm out of space here, guys. But for now, you don't do anything until you've got a setup. And at this stage, we don't have a setup. You just see something here, see what the next move is. So as far as this is concerned, we're still gonna have a continuation to the upside on this. Whether this correction is a little bit deeper, we're still gonna make a push to the upside. At least this 3-wave move to the upside. Okay, I will not look at the alternatives for now, because there is another alternative where this plays out as an expanding flat. If that plays out as an expanding flat, this is still going to have a continuation pattern to the upside, and we're going to adjust the structure, but we wait for confirmation. Okay, that is Bitcoin. Now Ethereum is more convincing for a down move than Bitcoin. With Ethereum, also we focused on all these moves to the upside, but this had a 5-wave move to the upside. As you can see, we've got W in red, X in red, Y in red, X in red, and Z in red. Now this one pulling back is the same degree, but I'm going to use a different colors just so we can show. This one could be making a structure like this. Again, another sideways structure. That means a move up in 3 waves. That is 3 up, or rather this is 11 swings. A move up in a corrective structure, a move back in corrective structure. If that happens, that means we are going to have a new leg here. We're going to have a new leg this side. So we are still here. Indications are that this is going to make a move, a continuation move to the upside, at least retest the previous high here around 220. Okay, still going to push up to 220. That is what we're seeing here. We're confirming that the indicator is still telling us that this is still continuation to the upside. All right, so that is Ethereum. So the cryptos for now, there isn't new trades to look at because we're still going sideways. This is Litecoin. Let's switch off Litecoin before I switch off, just so you can see the structure. Again, this was also another 11 swing sequence. That is WXYXZ. It's 3 waves up, 3 waves back, 3 waves up, back, and last 3 waves up. Now we've made 1, 2, 3. Are we gonna see another 3 waves back before we see another 3 waves to the downside? Let me switch then off so you can see the structure only. And let me draw the structure cleanly. It's just a little bit messy there, but this is 3 waves down. We're looking for this one to be pulling back. It's still gonna push up higher as far as the structure is concerned and the confirmation with the stock and the RSI. We'll be looking for this one to continue higher and pull back, but what we're eventually looking at is this to be a WXY structure and another leg to the upside. So let's monitor this and check how this one is going to play out here. So still gonna be a bit of a push to the upside. So the theme on the cryptocurrencies is that we're still gonna continue pushing higher in the next week as well. Ripple, similar to the others, similar to Litecoin, Ethereum, and and Bitcoin. So this one has got also 5 swing sequence, 11 swing sequence to the upside. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, so that is Ripple. Ripple is similar to Litecoin and Ethereum. We are seeing these 3 waves down here. We're seeing this one, it's going up correctively. As long as this is upside, I will not be interested in trading this one to the upside, because all of these 3 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, 4 of them may just be going sideways for a while. So it's 3 down here, we could be going for another 3, and then we come back down here. So sideways, we should be going sideways for some time. So we're gonna have to wait a bit there. All right, now let's look at the indices. Now looking at the indices, the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500, we've made some adjustments last week based on how this has now played out. We're seeing this one has even come down as 5 waves there to the downside. But again, this is also coming up in 5 waves. Initially, what we looked at this to be also making another, a 3-wave move, and we were going to look for this one to make a move to the downside like this. Okay, so the market here instead has made 5 waves again. So this is another 5-wave move. In red, it's made of 5 waves, but these 5 waves, as you can see, are smaller than the yellow. Can you see that this structure is smaller than the yellow? So what we are looking at here, I'm going to show you the labeling here. We'll be looking for this one. So I just need to show it correctly there. This is the last waveform. I'm going to label it just now so you can see what are we looking at. That is 1, that is 2, that is 3, that is 4. We're looking for the 5, and then we're then gonna look for this one to make a move to the downside. Okay, not actually like that, because we've got, let's look at this. Let's label this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here. In the lower degree, we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that means even if this is going to come down, it's not coming down with this yellow move. It may come down here with a corrective structure, ABC structure here, and make, let me just make full screen here. Let's make this full screen so I can show you the structure again. I'm going to redraw it quickly. So we can see the full structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the lower degree is another 1, 2, 3, 4, expecting the last move here. So if that is the case, we could have this one making a 3-wave move here, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then only then we'll have this one coming down with the move that it started. You see that thing. So we may be sideways for a while on the indices, especially S&P 500, the DAX, and the Dow. Right, so what are we looking at? So we're looking for this to make one last move to the upside, and then downside, and then upside here. So what does this all mean in terms of structure? In terms of structure, this is a move like this. This is 5 waves in yellow, so that is A. This is 1, 2, 3 in red, B, and a C. Now, if you wanted to label this, you can do that with a different color, lower degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the red degree will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. I'm just trying to give you a bit more detail here. 3, 4, and a 5. That's what we have. Now, on this one here, you're going to have A, B, C. So it's a complex B corrective structure. It may play out like that. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then lastly, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So don't be surprised if we stay sideways for a while on the indices. That is what we're looking at. So the move to the downside, if it comes, that may be a corrective move. I'm not going to be looking for a pulsing move or this move here, because this is also an impulse. Okay, now I have forecasted here that it may play out as a zigzag. It may even play out like this. This internal move here can also be a flat corrective structure. It does not have to be a zigzag, so it can even play out as a pulsing move here that we already have, a corrective move that retests the low before it makes a move to the upside, which means then that this 5-wave move can then start from there. So it can be any corrective structure. I think that's as much detail as we can go on the S&P 500. All right, so let's go back to the next one is the Dow Jones. So Dow Jones Industrial. Now Dow Industrial, same, we're in wave 4. Looks like we're gonna push one more up here to complete the structure before we get, again, you can see the structure is still the same. It's a pulsing move. It's also a pulsing move in the lower degree. So what we're going to get here is going to be a 3-wave move here after the 5 waves. This is 5 waves, 1, 2, 3. We're currently in 4, and then we're looking for a 5 to complete the structure there. All right, now that is what we're going to be looking at also. This can also retest the low here and make a structure like that, and we'll have this. So For now, that is just long-term forecast. For immediate move, we know that that is the next move to the upside to complete the wave 5. Then we'll be looking for downside from there. We should likely have divergence coming up here with the last move. Let's have a look here what the structure looks like here. So the RSI on the 4-hour, we're already starting to see divergence. So even if we make a new high here, we should see the pullback down here. All right, that is the Dow Jones Industrial Transportation. Also the same, we'll just be looking for this one to make a push to the upside. Transportation looks to have made a 3-wave move. Transportation looks to have made a 3-wave move, but structurally and direction-wise will be the same. Okay, right, so that is what we're gonna be looking at here on this one, 3 waves to the upside. Okay, so that will be a WXY. As much as going up here, it will not be going as an impulse like we look as the S&P 500. The NASDAQ on this one, let's look at the NASDAQ, this one here. So the NASDAQ, you can see it's also made a pulsing move to the downside and a pulsing move to the upside, but that is a lower degree. It's a pulsing move, it's another pulsing move. We should now see again, just like the S&P 500, a pullback. So what you'll be looking for, do not let this move fool you, especially at this level, we should see a pullback from there. And even that pullback should not necessarily be a fast move, can be a corrective move. All right, so that is the NASDAQ. What you'll be looking for, the NASDAQ is still continuation to the upside. So this is still continuing to the upside. We're still gonna see one more up. And this is the structure here on the NASDAQ. You can see the labeling here. This is the one that is got the labeling here. There we go. So you can see here, we are going for the last wave 5 on the NASDAQ. Let's see if it's confirmed. Very, very likely that this is going to continue up. Okay, very, very likely that it's going to continue up to complete the wave 5 there. That is the NASDAQ. UK 100. UK 100, we looked for it to make a pullback to the from this move here. So I was actually looking for this to go all the way down. But what we're seeing here is that this has now instead made a continuation pattern. So we just make a simple adjustment like that. So this is going to make another move to the upside. This is a continuation. It's going to make a move to the upside. Maybe retest the previous low here and break the previous low. That is the NASDAQ. That is the move. That is the UK 100. That is the move you're expecting there. Okay, so very likely to push higher than this, especially if it breaks above this structure. A move above this structure will confirm that the NASDAQ is pushing higher. Right, DAX is the same, has made a 3-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3. Looks like we're gonna see again a break to the upside of this to go and make a new high here on the DAX. So continuation to the upside. Nikkei, slightly different in structure, 1, 2, 3. Even if we do make one more up here, that will be just to complete the diagonal there. So it's gonna be a 3-wave move to the upside, and we'll expect a 3-wave pullback as well. Now, if we're just following the red degree, A, B, C in red, this will be another A, B, C pullback. Okay, so we should have another degree in between here. We'll just put in green for now. So that degree will be WX, if this is gonna make a continuation to the upside like this. So that means we're gonna have another 3-wave move after the pullback. So this is long-term focused on these structures. All right, let's switch this off so you can see the structure only. And let's try to clean the structure nicely here. Right, so that's what we have. 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside, and the last one is a Y here. Okay, we've started with 3 waves up, 3 waves back, and then 3 waves up. That's what you're looking for on the Nikkei. We should have a pullback anytime now. Right, the Nifty, we've got this 3-wave pullback. Let's draw it cleanly. So we've made a move up in 3 waves. So it also has the same crash that happened in the first week of March. But it's also like the Nikkei made a 3-wave move to the upside. That is an A, that is a B, that is a C. What we're seeing now is this 3-wave pullback. We should see this 3-wave pullback and then continuation to the upside. Right, so that is the Nikkei. All right, all the indices, there's also been a number of requests from members from Pakistan asking me if I should try and do the KSE, which is the Pakistani index. So I'll just do it briefly here because we don't really have a lot of time to go through all the indexes that you may request. But there is similarity, as you can see, with the KSE for Pakistani members. There is similarity. This is going to push a little bit higher, and I'm using this because this is the only place where I've got data available for the Pakistani index. This is still going to continue higher. We have made 1, 2, 3 here. Let me just change this actually. So this is a pulsing move. This is a corrective structure. What looks to be happening here is that we are getting a diagonal. Now, if that is a diagonal, that means this is an A move, this is a B move. So we'll be completing this diagonal with the green like this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we should still have one more move to the upside on the Pakistani index, completing this diagonal here. Now, just like the S&P 500, we'll be looking for this one to make an A, B, C structure here, and then a pullback. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Just 1 second, guys. Right, so we'll be looking for a pullback on the Pakistani index as well, an ABC move here. First, a push to the upside to complete the diagonal in an ABC move, and eventually the overall structure will be a W, X for the whole move, and then a Y. So to show that move here in purple, it will be this structure that we're looking at. A move up here, W, and a move back. A move up, and then continuation. So you can see that the theme here is that all the indices are going to go sideways for a while. So we should only be able to trade the next immediate move. The next immediate move is continuation to the upside. Then we'll look for a pullback. So we'll see if we should have some divergence on the RSI as well. All right, I hope you guys are happy with that. Now let's go now into the major pairs. Euro US dollar. Now let's look at Euro US dollar. I'm going to go to the website here and look at the US dollar pairs. Let's start with the US dollar pairs. So we'll look at Euro US dollar as well as the DXY first. Now Euro US dollar, I think I've already made an update, or yes, I have not made the update as yet. So this is what I wanted us to look at the structure as. So in the beginning, when we were doing trade setups, I showed you how we focused the move to the downside, how we focused the move to the upside. We're currently here now. So 1, 2, 3. We're currently completing the third move here. We are correcting here. So I'm looking for Euro US dollar to make a continuation to the downside here, to make one more move to complete here to the downside. So let's go look at the live Euro US dollar chart here. As you can see, all those moves have now played out. We've got the break to the upside. See, there's something on the chat box. You're welcome, Turkey. Okay, so we'll be looking for this one. We've made this move. We've made this move here. This is a corrective structure. We're looking for this to continue. Short move here. You don't really want to trade this. It's a short move. The risk to reward ratio may be compromised, maybe 50-50 here. So what we'll be looking for is for this to reach this level and get this move, the last move that we're looking at. So this is the one that we're looking at. We are looking for this move now. You don't want to trade this because this one is almost complete, and we'll be looking for this one to the upside. If you look at this here, this was posted on the 25th of April. So from the 25th of April, all these moves have been accurate. Now we're looking for this one, the last one to complete the B. Don't trade this short one left here unless we change the view on Euro US dollar. So that's what we're looking at. That's Euro US dollar. And the DXY is the inverse of what we've got here. So the DXY, you can see also on the side, let's go to the DXY, it's the inverse of Euro US dollar. The DXY also, we looked for the breakdown here, which has happened already. And now we are currently here. We are looking for this one to make a continuation pattern, which is already formed here, to complete the move to the upside, just like the Euro has done. So what we are looking at here is this structure. We're looking for this. This is already coming down here. We're looking for this one to continue here and complete the move. All right, now every move here has played out inch perfect, and this is how our members benefit from this website here. Right, so looking at the rest of the US dollar pairs, let's go to US dollar chief as well. US dollar chief is directly correlated to the dollar index because of the US dollar on it. So as you can see, this has also played out like this. We have broken down here. We are here. We've made a move down here. We've reversed as forecasted. We are now here. We're looking for this to complete the move to the upside. Let's look at the live chart. So on US dollar chief, now US dollar chief looks like this. As you can see, we even have a trade setup for upside here, for this to go and complete the move to the upside. Okay, so 3 waves back here, and then looking for upside. Okay. Euro, I didn't show you the last move that I'm expecting. I think I did show you. That is the one we're looking at here. Right, and then the next one is pound US dollar. Let's look at pound US dollar as well. So pound US dollar, also from the 25th of April, there has not been a change here. So this has made a W, and it's made an X, has made a Y, but we've made an X and a Z. We've made an X and a Z. I showed you a trade setup that we took from here after it made that move. So we were looking for that move, which we got after the break here. That is a setup I showed you in the beginning on pound US dollar. Now, pound US dollar, we may have a change in structure here. Let's have a look, but we're not going to change the structure until that plays out. It will only be invalidated if we get to this level. If we break lower than 1970, this structure to the upside will be invalidated. Okay, we're going to invalidate that structure, but for now we're not worried about that. We've got a trade running here. It's got about 20 pips left. Can even take profits at current levels, so we are around this level. So getting up to this level will change the overall structure from this move on pound, because what we were looking for on pound US dollar is this. We're looking for this to have made a pulsing move to the upside. We're looking for this to be a corrective structure, and then continuation to the upside. But we have traded this 400 pips to the downside. That's okay. If the structure changes, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. And this has made what looked like an impulsive move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll be looking for this one here. That's why we're looking for this to make a reversal. So let's give it some time here to see if we don't have any signs of reversal at current levels. So we'll be watching this one. We'll be watching to see if we start gaining a base here and then upside. But for now, we just let our trade run. US dollar CAD. Now US dollar CAD also making a interesting structure here. I'm going to go back to the site as well. So on this one, I was looking for this. A move down here. Those who've been watching these videos for a while will remember that we focused on this move to the upside. We wanted this break to the upside. We broke out of here, and then we are looking for this to do that. Let's switch off here. Let me switch off here so you can just see the structure. It's always easy to see the structure. So if you look at this here, let's just show the structure only using the yellow color. So this is what I looked at when it was playing out. We saw the 3-wave move to the downside. Let's slipping here, 1, 2, 3 to the downside. And what I was looking at here was this, that this is making a pullback in 3 waves. That is still the view even now. When this was making a 1, 2 here, we looked at this one to be making a move here. So we got the trade to the upside here. Now, the forecast was that we're going to get a move to the upside, and then we're going to get another move here like this, so that we can have a WXY structure. So you have to understand how we look at the structure and how it plays out, if it plays out or not, and you need to understand why. So it did not do this. We understand this very well, that the market does not move in a straight line. So there's a likelihood that this is making a complex structure here like this. Push to the upside, come down here. Maybe another push to the upside, and then come down here. What will that be? It will still be the same 3-wave structure that we're expecting, except that the corrective structure will have played out as a flat. This is still a corrective structure. So it's still a W, still an X, still a corrective structure. Right. So for now, the next immediate move on this, we're still looking for continuation to the pattern to the upside. We're looking for strength on US dollar CAD, at least just a short move back to this level. Right, that is US dollar CAD. Not, there's not much of a good trade there. Let's just look at the 1 hour for that. So this is very likely will continue to the upside. Even if you get this, it will continue to the upside. Let's go to the 1 hour. So just one look at the indicator tells us exactly what to expect, whether it's still going to continue. And from this, what we're looking at here is still going to continue to the upside. But on the 1 hour, we're going to have a pullback before we get a continuation pattern to the upside. Okay, let's go back to the 4 hour. It's a lot clearer. Let's go back to the 4 hour and continue with the rest. Now, New Zealand US dollar and Audi US dollar, I've already shown you these from the site. So this was a setup on New Zealand here. It has made a move to the downside here. Okay, so there was a setup on New Zealand. We expected a pullback here and then a move to the downside. Let me just have a look here on the site, what it looks like. New Zealand US dollar, 1 hour. So that was that. We'll look for the pullback here and then a move to the downside. That has played out on New Zealand. Okay, that's what you see there. Move to the downside and move down here. But now, what is the next move on the New Zealand? So we should continue seeing this one pushing a little bit lower. I don't think it's going to turn here yet. We should see it continue lower, just like Euro US dollar, before turning to the upside. For now, you don't do anything until you start seeing signs of this one reversing here to the upside. Okay, so still continuation to the downside. Don't try to pick the bottom, wait for that confirmation. Audi US dollar, this one was a messy trade. As I've shown in trade setup, we're tempted to buy or to sell rather this one here for a move to the downside here, but this has eventually made a three-wave move to the upside. Even when we waited for a corrective structure to enter here, the correction was just a sharp move, so we didn't get an entry here, even if it's coming down here like this. So this is still a move like this. So how this plays out now is this. So you've got a move down here in the red degree. Now this could be a diagonal. So this will make sense to be a diagonal. Okay, so if it makes a diagonal, that is a clear A, B, C move, because your C can only be 5 waves. And a diagonal is a 5-wave move. So it's coming down messy. That's because it's possibly making a diagonal. So we're still going to see continuation to the downside on Audi US dollar. US dollar ZAR. Now, the advice I can give you on US dollar ZAR is that you leave it until this structure is complete. We are making this continuation pattern, this wedge pattern here. It looks like a triangle, but it looks like it is still in the making. So let's rather wait for US dollar ZAR to get out of this structure. It will continue higher. Unfortunately, there's still going to be more weakness for the US dollar, for the ZAR against the US dollar in the near term. Right, so rather wait for this. Let's wait and see how this plays out. So I'm going to show you the structure, but the structure can have a number of ways that in which it can play out. So let's look at it from inside out. Now, looking at this one, it has made a three-wave move to the downside. It is now making another 1, 2, expect another three-wave move to the upside. Now, the full structure here will be this one here. I know that it's not going to be the same color. This is the full structure that we're expecting. Okay, let's remove all of this. So that is what we have. This has not played out yet. The move is up to here. This is where we are here. Right, so we're expecting it to continue higher here to make this regular flat in yellow. If it makes a regular flat in yellow, there's a likelihood that that regular flat is correcting that red degree, and the last move here on the red will be this one. Now, if that is the case, the red degree will be correcting this green one here, which will then make this structure. Now, if that is the green structure here, we have got the here white, and then a move to the upside like that. Very complex structure, and lastly, you're gonna have this. Okay, so this is a messy structure. I think you've seen how New Zealand US dollar has played out. Audi New Zealand has played out in the beginning when we did trade recaps. So similarly here, this may be messy, but this is not on the daily. Audi New Zealand was on the daily. That's why it took 4 years to play out. This is only on the 4-hour chart. So a couple of trading sessions, this one plays out like that. So for now, the next immediate move, we're looking for it to go to the upside. Now, how do we label this? Now, it's easy because you've got the structure. Labeling is secondary. So this will be an ABC structure in the purple, A, B, C. Now you've got the white, also an ABC structure, A, B, C. Now you've got the green. Is it ABC as well? The green will be ABC as well. In the lower degree, ABC structure. It's note that every internal structure is lower than the previous one. Now again, the red is also ABC structure, ABC structure. Now the yellow will be a WXY structure. It can also be an ABC structure depending on how this one plays out here. That will depend on the structure of this one. So that is how we're looking at US dollar ZAR inside out, and we'll be eventually looking for this to get out of the structure, to break out of the structure. We're not trading breakouts, we're just looking for a complete corrective structure. So after this, we'll be looking for this. If we get this move here, any move around this level, we'll be taking it higher, further up higher, more weakness for the ZAR. Right, US dollar JPY. Let's look, take a closer look on this one here. US dollar JPY, I was looking for a continuation to the upside, but we can see that this move, we had a pulsing move here. We have a pulsing move here on US dollar JPY, and it pulled back with another pulsing move. So I was expecting a move to the upside, but I could see that this is a pulsing move. It needs to have been corrected before it starts playing out. So we may just get slight move to the upside here to around this level on US dollar JPY, come back down here, and then that move that we're looking for start playing out like this. So only then will we look at US dollar JPY to make this move. So looking at how silver and gold are pushing higher, we'll expect that the yen pairs also push lower because they are inversely correlated. So a bit of a push to the upside here and then come down here on US dollar JPY. Pound yen, I've already shown you the structure on trade recaps. Don't do anything until we've got confirmation that this is going to reverse. Just like pound US dollar, the structure may be invalidated if we extend much lower than this. Then that means that this is no longer a corrective structure, but rather a reversal. Okay, but for now, don't do anything on pound US dollar. What I'm looking for is continuation to just complete the trade, 400 pips, and then a pullback here. Then we'll be looking for this to correct and push up higher. That is if the structure is still intact. The yen pairs, I actually expected the yen pairs to push higher. Just like US dollar yen, you'll see here that we've made a sharp move to the upside. We've made a sharp move back in the lower degree. Now, again, I'm expecting that we're going to have a corrective structure. Even if we make a move to the upside, this may not go with a sharp move like that. We may come back here for one first before we make a move to the upside like that. So the structure will be like this. It will be a decent structure like this. It looks more decent if it's like this. It does not have to be a regular flat. It can be any corrective structure. Right, so that is euro, and CHF will be similar. CHF will be similar. So say a pulsing move down, looking for this one to be making a corrective structure and continuing lower after this pulsing move. Okay, after this pulsing move. Okay, so we'll be looking for that continuation to the upside. Let's just quickly go to this side so you can see how we're looking at this structure. Let me just see what those look like here on the yen pairs. Let's look at the yen pairs. Yen pairs. Just want to show you one structure there on pound yen. That is what pound yen looks like. That was the trade setup that you saw breaking down here, 400 pips down. And US dollar yen. US dollar yen has made this pullback and again a move to the upside. So like I'm saying here, I'm expecting that this may be much more corrective than we're expecting before we get a move to the upside. And then euro, the same as euro US dollar, a corrective structure here, and then I move to the upside. And then just look at the structure. The structure looks very clear because we've got a move down here. I think you can only see the structure on the 4 hour. Let me show you the structure on Euro on the 4 hour, so you can see what we're looking at. So Euro on the 4 hour is a 3-wave move to the downside. Follow the blue color, a move up, and then a move down. Into the blue box, that's where you see the reversal. Into the blue box, we'll make a push to the upside. That's why we're expecting that we're gonna have this corrective structure and a move to the upside. Okay, so we've got 3 waves here. That is A, B, C. We've got 3 waves up here, and then a move to the downside. If you remember, I showed you last week how we forecasted all that this is going to reverse from the blue box here, and we forecasted this one to, when we were still here, we focused that we're going to have a move up here, and then it's going to come down here. You can check it out on the previous webinars. You can just go click on Euro Yen and see how we focused this 3-wave move, and this one reversing from the blue box. Now, Chief Yen is similar on the 4 hour. As you can see, it's also got 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then a 3-wave move to the downside. Now, Chief Yen made a 3-wave move into the blue box before Euro could. So if you look at this move here, it went into the blue box and made a sharp impulse. So we would have thought that that sequence is complete, but we saw that the Euro has not reached its blue box. That's why we saw this one retesting the blue box. With this move, the Euro was now able to also reach its blue box. Now they both reached the blue box, and then now we are here. We're looking for this corrective structure and continues into the upside. There is no new setup. The only focus is that after the corrective structure, we'll look for upside on Euro and Chief as well. Let's look at the rest now as CAD Yen as well. I'm looking for, let's just look at the structure that I was looking at here. So I was looking for this one. I'm actually still looking for this one to continue up. So even if it does this first, we're still gonna look for this one to continue higher here. We are going sideways here now, and we'll be looking for that upside. It can even play out like this, makes a move to the downside here, 3 waves here, and a move up like that. So with the metals going up, this one can be coming down here. That is CAD, AUD. AUD, I actually posted this one on TradingView, looking for this to continue from here and push higher, but it is now coming down here with this structure. So this could be making this structure. In hindsight, we're now looking for this to be possibly making this 1, 2, 3-wave structure. Now, if that is the case, we already have this one having started with a WXY corrective structure. So if that is the case, and I'm going to switch off now here, if that is the case, that means you've got a W here, it's an expanding flat, this one is an X, and possibly looking for this one to make another structure like this before any move to the upside. So still continuation to the downside. So you can still sell that to the downside on AUD Yen. New Zealand, similar to AUD Yen, we are looking for this structure. We're looking for this structure here, continuation, corrective structure here, like this. So looking for this to continue lower. I was also looking for this one to continue from here, thinking that this corrective structure has ended here. Right, so we're coming down here with the structure on Yen with the yellow degree here. Still continuation to the downside. It will only invalidate if this becomes longer than the 1,618 extension of A. Check it out. If it goes to the 1,618 extension of A, it's going to invalidate this as a corrective structure. So we're going to have to adjust the structure there. Silver and gold. Let's start with gold. Now, we've looked at both silver and gold. Let me go to the website here. Both silver and gold on Thursday. Our members got an opportunity to see that beforehand. Let's look at the commodities. Looking at the commodities. Gold, let's start with gold. Gold 1 hour. Now, initially gold 1 hour, if you remember, we were looking for this structure to do this, and that was gonna be an X here. and we're going to look for one more down, which is going to come in 3 waves before it comes up. This was what before we saw we made the adjustment on Thursday morning, looking at how this was playing out. Gold structure was not as clear as silver. The gold structure looked like it was going to push one more down and then upside. That is why we were able to trade silver, and then we left gold. But with gold, with the adjusted structure, it makes a lot of sense that we've got this one starting a move to the upside, a pullback, and then continue to the upside. Why are we doing that? Because if you look at this purple degree, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 3. Now we're simply looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but also in purple minute degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete the last wave 5 on gold. Now let's go back to the 4 hour. If you look at the 4 hour gold, because that is the latest chart, I want to see the one before daily. On the daily, we have been looking for gold to go around the 2000 area. So we're currently in this wave 5. The correction that has just been broken out of now is this one here for a wave 5, when we're looking for a wave 5 in yellow to complete. Okay, that is how we're looking at gold. Now silver was a lot clearer. Let's look at silver. On the site here, if we go to silver, the 1 hour, this is the one that we posted to members before it happened. So this is a move here. This is the latest one when it broke out, and I told members this is in play. So that is, I usually don't tell members buy this. They can tell with the trade setups and the strategy that we give them that this is a trigger. But this one was actually live, and it was ready at the time. And then we got we got this one in, and then the stop loss was here. And if you look at how this has moved, we never even had a candle back into the negative area. It has just made a move around that area. So we're still looking for continuation to the upside. How did we get that? It was a move to the upside, and then we adjusted the structure here. We saw this one making a move here and then we saw this one to the upside. So I actually still wanted this to come down here, but the indicator showed us here that it's ready for upside. That's why it is now already 100 points up. We're already 100 points up here on silver. Look for continuation to the upside. Any pullbacks, you can still buy. Oil as well. I've shown this one trade setups. This one, indicator confirms, structure confirms, sequence confirms, and then the trade to the upside. We're also already 100 points up from this level on oil. Okay, so any pullbacks can still be bought. Any pullbacks can still be bought on oil. You can still buy any pullbacks. Right, so let's move on to the next group. Pound Chief. Now, Pound Chief, let's go to the site again. Look at the pound US dollars, pound pairs. Looking at the pound pairs, let's look at the pound pairs. Let's go to the pound pairs. Right, there we go. So Pound Chief, if you look at Pound Chief, I was looking for this. This is actually the latest update as of yesterday. It's already been updated. So Pound Chief, we're looking for this one to drop from around here. Not even reverse there. I was actually looking for it to reverse here. It has not reversed at that level, so this may be invalidated. So we'll have got this one coming down here, still continuing. There's no signs of reversal, but the structure that we're expecting is this one on Pound Chief. So we just need to wait for confirmation to confirm that structure is going to continue to the upside. So we'll be looking for this one to reverse together with pound US dollar, because if they both continue lower than the 1,618 of this, then the structure is invalidated. For now, we're looking for a reversal. We'll look for confirmation of reversal around that area. That is Pound Chief. Let's look at the rest. Pound Audi. Pound Audi is making a base here. Let's switch off here. It's making a base here. Let me show the labeling first. For a reversal, we're focusing downside, so this may just make a pullback here first before it continues lower, because we're seeing some divergence here. So divergence does not mean reversal, guys. It can mean a reaction even if that reaction is corrective, and then we continue lower. That is pound AUD there. Okay, so in any case, you saw this, there's strength in the AUD, so this may even come here and retest here before we go. So we may retest the top here before we continue lower. That is pound AUD. All right, pound New Zealand. Now pound New Zealand, very interesting structure here. Let's have a look. Pound New Zealand, look out for this corrective structure. If this corrective structure here confirms upside, we may be getting a very nice trade to the upside. Show this structure here. So we've already made a 3-wave pullback here. With this one is running flat here. You're looking for this one to complete. We've already got this one. Now we've got a pulsing move. You're looking for this to break out. Now, just like oil and silver, this may be one of those trades that we'll be looking for. As you can see, that is the forecast, and it's opposite of what, as the inverse of what we're looking at on pound AUD as well. And usually these two pairs are correlated. So that means pound AUD, that 3-wave move that we're expecting, may be coming with pound New Zealand. And the reversal that we're expecting on pound US dollar, on pound CHF, and pound yen may be coming with the pound pair. So let's have a look and see how this plays out. So maybe a very strong move back here. Okay, so that is pound AUD and pound New Zealand. Pound CAD. Pound CAD has now reached this level that we wanted for a corrective structure to the downside. Now, if you look at this one, we've got a complex corrective structure here, 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for this one to come down here and reverse. So all structures on the pound pairs are we're looking for reversal, but the indicator on all of them is not confirming such as yet. So let's have a look. So we need to get confirmation. The other areas where we want it, everything is in the area where we want it to, but it has not confirmed. Euro pound. Euro pound. We're looking for this to have been a 3-wave, and then a 3-wave down, and we're looking for this one to make another move to the upside before continuation to the downside. So this would have been a corrective structure. So if the pound pair starts making a move to the upside, then this one should come down here, because this is the pound is quoted on this, in this area, on this pair rather. Euro New Zealand. Now, Euro New Zealand, we're looking for continuation to the upside here. Maybe a pullback here. Maybe a pullback before we continue higher. We've got a strong impulse here. So we're looking for this to pull back, a correction, and then a continuation to the upside. It will push higher. So Euro still has strength to the, Euro New Zealand still has strength to the upside. Euro AUD, the structure is showing us that this must make a move to the upside. So that's why that should follow Euro New Zealand before we get a move to the downside. So we're seeing strength on Euro New Zealand and Euro AUD. EUROCAD. EUROCAD has got an interesting structure here. Now, EUROCAD, if you look at this structure, every time the market has a structure like this, and this could be a very nice trade for the next week, any corrective structure here, guys, take it up. This is a very good trade for next week. Let's have a look here. All indicators, structural and indicators, are showing us that any corrective structure here, this is going to push higher. And I have seen a structure like this before on Euro New Zealand, just recently on Euro New Zealand. After a structure like that, if you look at this, look at a structure like this. Every time you get a move that is so sharp, that is immediately retraced with a sharp move like this. That's why I'm saying on EUROCAD, if you see a confirmation here, you're going to have a big move to the upside. After this structure on Euro New Zealand, this was only in February when we traded this, we got 1,200 pips to the upside. We got 1,000 pips to the upside. Can you see what happened after that structure? After that Euro structure, it made a move 1,500 pips from this level where we entered. See here, actually 2,000 pips, as you can see, 2,000 pips. That's not a mistake. Okay, if you remember in March, I showed you these moves and how we traded it. We traded the 750 pip move and another 750 pip move here on Euro New Zealand. Now again, you are getting the same structure on EUROCAD. It's telling us strength. And you see, it's the same structure, same corrective structure. It's a very sharp correction, but it's retraced immediately by fewer candles. Now, any move here, look for this to push higher, guys. So that will be a very nice trade here to the upside in the next week. Trade of the week, EUROCAD. Watch it. Right, EURJPY is still making a base here for the last wave 5 here, making a V pattern, but we're already seeing divergence. This has been incorrect in a 3-wave move to the downside for over 2 years as well, but it looks like we are about to reach the reversal area here for that wave 5 before we make a move to the upside. Look at the stock on the RSI. It's already changed direction from around, let's check the date here, from this EURJPY from last year already, from around April. From around April, we've already started making a move to the upside. So that means divergence on the RSI. So we're making a new low here. If we make a new low and the RSI continues to make a high, that means this is going to make a move to the upside. You're going to have a big move to the upside on EURJPY. AUDJPY. Now, these are the crosses now. Let me just show you what the crosses look like. We've got a specialist on the cross pairs that is doing the updates on the charts for us. One of our members, he also does some of our webinars, some of our daily webinars. And this is somebody who has attended my course with no knowledge of Elliott Wave, but has done so well. He's now part of our team. He does the chart updates for us now. Let's just have a look at how this, how he has forecasted this. So let's just go one back into the Euro pairs. Let's look at the Euro pairs, Euro New Zealand. Now you're looking at Euro New Zealand. This was the forecast. Just 1 second. Yeah, so I wanted to show you the crosses. So Euro New Zealand, for example, this was the forecast. We wanted it to come down here. We're now around this area. We wanted to make a push to the upside, and that is how that was forecasted. We're looking for, as you can see, this has now made a move to the upside. That has now played out. Now, what are we looking for? The forecast was that this is going to make a 3-wave move, but I've just made an adjustment on the structure looking at how EUROCAD has played out, that this may still continue to the upside. The B move, the B may actually still be here. So we'll update the structures shortly. Right, New Zealand CAD, as you can see, New Zealand CAD, we wanted it to drop from here around that level. That is about 85, and there's already a 300 pip drop on New Zealand CAD. As you can see, as forecasted, this is now dropped around that area. What are we looking for? This is New Zealand CAD now. We're looking for this one to continue higher, but we're still dropping like that. So around this level, Euro CAD we're expecting upside, US dollar CAD we're expecting upside. So that means there may be some weakness in the CAD pair, in the CAD pairs coming. Right, so that is New Zealand CAD. Euro pound, we've already looked at Euro pound to be making a 3-wave move to the upside here and a move back here. You'll see that all those moves were forecasted before. As you can see, that is the move to the upside has now played out. This is the latest chart. This is actually not the latest chart. So we'll be looking for this one to make a move here on Euro New Zealand. CADJPY, the forecast was this to continue coming down here. Now you'll see exactly that is how that is playing out. Now this tells you, there's the focus to the downside. This tells you that when you have got the same set of eyes, the same strategy, the same indicators, we should see the charts exactly the same. So this is how I would have looked at the charts as well. This is CADJPY, and then those are the cross pairs. Let's see if I've missed any. Did I miss any cross pair? Audi New Zealand, we've already looked at this one. In trade recaps, we're simply looking for this to continue higher to complete the wave 5 here. Okay, we're simply looking for this one. This was a move, this was an entry here, but it's very risky to enter here after 800 pips. Okay, we've taken this one from here. We are now around here. 1,000 pips we're looking for here. It's already moved over 800 pips. AUDCAD, we're looking for this one to just pull back here and continue higher. So no signs of reversal yet. New Zealand CAD we already looked at. New Zealand Chief, we are making this corrective structure. We'll be looking for any form of reversal around this area for upside. Let's switch this one off. CADJPY we already looked at. And that's all for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. There's so much to look out for. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get the notification next time I post a video up on YouTube. Have a great week, guys. See you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.